and silently line the halls on either side of the governor's office, which is right up there. We will hear some words from some of the people who have been involved in this fight. At 1:15, we'll come back down here. We will divide into two groups to go visit the Department of Public Health and the Department of Environmental Protection.
But then we have the Waterways Appeal, the second part of the Waterways Appeal, I might add, with the DEP. And Margaret, who likes to pass notes during these things, wrote down, who are we? Who is FRAC's fighting? Are we fighting Algonquin, Enbridge, Spectra, whatever their name is today, or are we fighting the DEP?
Okay.
And it's hard to tell the difference. When we sit there in these hearings and we watch the DEP lawyers passing notes to the Spectra lawyers, when we see them chit-chatting about different issues, and seriously, I'm going to use the word collude because we hear that a lot these days. When the transcripts come out of this, you are going to be shocked. We know we were, and this is our, how many times did we go on, Margaret? This is probably our 8th or 9th day of being in a hearing. We were in wetlands and waterways back in July and August. The second part of waterways now. The DEP pulled to dirty, and we have the pre-conference hearing for the air quality permit coming up next Friday. Although the hearing is not until May, but they refused to give us, and Enbridge refused, to give any of the parties more time to get their documents together for the pre-conference hearing. Boo! And that's why I call them the Department of Enabling Polluters. They have lost their way. Their mission statement says that they work with citizen partners for a clean environment. Really? Okay? Really? It was the DEP that did the faulty air quality studies, faulty, limited, 6 weeks, 1 season, lousy weather conditions, quite frankly. I want to remember Sandusfield, I want to remember West Roxbury, and the places where the government, the DEP, has failed us.
That's right.
Failed us. So I want to remember all of these areas because it's not just Weymouth. But if they get that foot in Weymouth, everyone is going to be under the gun for the Access Northeast. Watch that come back in a nanosecond. So again, give yourselves a hand. Thank you for being partners in the fight.
A group of more than 50,000 physicians and health professionals whose goal is to address the greatest threats to human health. Our grave concern regarding the flawed health impact assessment for the Weymouth compressor station commissioned by the Baker administration is spelled out in this detailed report. We, the authors, are a group of experts in public health, cancer epidemiology, emergency response and disaster preparedness, and the health effects of climate change. I'll hand it over to Dr. Racine to summarize the main conclusions of the PSR report.
Can you put the mic close to your mouth?
It's not a mic, it's a mic device.
In our report, we conclude the following. It's not safe. The Weymouth site is too densely populated for a compressor station that processes high pressure, highly flammable, fracked gas. Compressor stations have never been sited in such a densely populated coastal area like Weymouth. People living nearby, especially children, the elderly, and the disabled could not be safely evacuated in the event of an emergency. There are 6 schools very close to the proposed site. This community is especially vulnerable. The health impact assessment shows that residents in the Fore River Basin are already already burdened with excess rates of disease. They have excess lung disease, excess heart disease, excess cancer, all of which are known to be associated with air pollution. These people, nearly half of whom constitute an environmental justice population, according to the definition of the Baker administration, require greater, not lesser, environmental protections. The area is already heavily polluted. The health impact assessment, even though it was flawed, shows that residents of the Fore River Basin are already burdened with excess elevated levels of hazardous air pollutants. These air pollutants are associated with human disease, including cancer. There are no safe exposure limits for benzene. Hazardous air pollutants will increase further with the construction of the proposed compressor station. Residents of the Fore River Basin deserve cleaner air, not pollution.
And you all who are here today, families across Massachusetts, and all of you, will you keep fighting? Being a single mom has made me very aware that I cannot do everything alone. And fighting climate change is not something we can do alone. I'm here today to be a part of something bigger that has to grow so we can overcome the irrational decisions of our current administrations. Join us today and visit the agencies who supported Governor Baker in making this dangerous choice. Will you visit the Department of Environmental Protection, supposedly? Yes. Go to the Mass Department of Health. Yes. Ask them to protect children, not Enbridge. Yes. I know that what is good for my son is also good for all of our children, all of the children in Massachusetts. Governor Baker, join the people and stand up for what is truly right.